There we go. All right, y'all. We are here. Welcome back to the HBCU Daily Grind. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. And this is the HBCU Daily Grind. All right, let me start this music real quick. So I do want to welcome you all back. And before we get to our special guests, there we go. Let me cut that out, and we're going to go ahead and get to what we came here to do. We're a few minutes late, but we are here. We were over on Facebook somehow, but hey, we're back here. So you know what it is, HBCU Daily Grind. We interview an HBCU alum who graduated from HBCU and now is an entrepreneur. So before we get into that, don't forget to follow us. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. What else? Facebook at HBCU by Association. So, head on over there and, make sure you follow us and make sure you spread the word that we have a show dedicated to us, HBCU alum who are now entrepreneurs. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's go to our special guest. We have Dr. That's right. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
Bro. All right, man. So give a shout out to your HBCUs and tell them what your major was as well.
So, it's kind of hard because they're like rivals. So I got shout out to University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where I went, attended my undergrad years, and I received a bachelor's in chemistry. And then just recently, I finished up at Delaware State University, where I received my doctorate in education leadership with a concentration in K-12.
Oh, man. Congratulations, man. Much love to you on that. So let's start it off. We're going to learn more about your time at both universities right now. So, I always start off with the 4 quadrants. So I'll say them and you just let me know which one resonates with you. I mean, if all of them do, that's fine. There's only 4 and they just spell out HBCU. All right. So the first one is homecoming. I don't know why homecoming is always the first one, but anyway, homecoming, Black excellence.
Would you say black what?
Black excellence.
Okay.
All right. Clubs and organizations. And then the last one is a united place on campus. So HBCU, homecoming, Black excellence, clubs and organizations, and the united place on campus. So what resonates with you?
Homecoming, of course.
Okay, all right, come on. Just throw it out there. You gotta elaborate down, man.
Yeah, I gotta elaborate on homecoming.
Yes. I mean, we know what the homecoming is.
We know what homecoming is.
Now, all of the 3 resonate with you.
No, in reality, homecoming resonates always because of the good time, but really the Black excellence really resonates with me going to an HBCU. I grew up in a town where it was like maybe 1 or 2, maybe a handful of smart Blacks. So being able to go to college where everybody was like me and smart and motivated, that was like Black excellence. And then to reconnect at homecoming, right? And seeing the great things and on social media and seeing the things that our alum are doing and moving and shaking. And it just makes me proud to have actually attended an HBCU. You kind of point fingers at the non-HBCU graduates, like, you missed out. You didn't have homecoming. But they had homecoming, but it wasn't homecoming. It wasn't an HBCU homecoming. And, at the end of the day, I think that attending an HBCU just really was what I needed to help me grow as a person.
All right, we're going to come back to that. So your time at University of Maryland Eastern Shore, were you an entrepreneur or did you learn about entrepreneurship while you were there?
Actually, I learned about entrepreneurship when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in it was an organization called Future Homemakers of America.
Future Homemakers
Yeah.
of America. Okay, that's
Yeah, I
interesting.
got into it because that was the club all the girls got into. So
I know the
you
story behind it.
and but I became the state president for Maryland, and they had these activities called student taking action recognition, where you would do like job interviews, and entrepreneurship was a category. So my junior year, I competed as in the entrepreneurship category, and I won at the Maryland state level, and I went and represented the state of Maryland at the national level, some years ago. So that was really like my first, look at it. And then my grandparents owned businesses. My dad's father owned a logging company.
Wow.
And my mom's dad, rest in peace to both of them. He owned a trucking company. He also had transportation. He did cabs, and he had racehorses at one point. They said, I don't remember. They said he owned a body shop as well, but I don't remember that piece.
I hear you, man. Well, so entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle, and it runs
It
in a
is a lifestyle.
glad to hear that. So let's jump right into what you're doing now. Then, so give out your website so that as people are listening to us talk about your opportunity. So give out your website so people can learn more about it.
Okay, so we're working on a website, so it's under construction. But the website is www.theappliedlearningacademy.com.
Okay.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
How?
The Applied Learning Academy.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. What are we doing? So, this started because there was no space, right? I was working as a chemist. And I was like, look, I don't want to be in the lab. I was working on my PhD in chemistry, and the social isolation going from an HBCU to a PWI in a hard science like chemistry, you become isolated. Now, not only was I, more Maryland born and bred, I'm now living in California. So, and I used to see the sign that said Route 50, Ocean City, Maryland, 3,073 miles every day when I left school. And one day I was like, I'm just going to keep driving and never come back.
Wow.
But, I mean, I faced a lot of racism, and I faced a lot of social isolation. And, I wanted to start helping Black and brown kids get into a hard science. So when they got there, I wanted to hold the door open so that they could run in and really realize that they belong in science.
Yeah.
Right. Everything, so many things that we use today, people don't attribute to science, to Blacks. And it's just ridiculous that we are being left behind, and as we move forward in this technology revolution. So
absolutely. But you gonna get us there, because I heard you speak before. You share some great information. So with your company, so is it you're working with the students, or are you working with the parents, teachers, or all of the above?
So we kind of do all of the above. The name is really symbolic. The applied learning means it's going to be hands-on. This is not the regular learning that you're going to do where we sit here and we kind of give you the information and expect you to regurgitate it. Yeah. Our learning and our philosophy is, let's get hands-on. Let's make it relevant. Let's make it concrete to something that you can see yourself doing. A lot of times our learning is very abstract. And learning the concepts. So that's the difference. We do a lot of educational consulting, like helping programs who may already be in a community, helping them to develop their programs and to, so that they can get funding and being able to track what they're doing. We're building some virtual platforms and programs. So really my focus for this is teacher preparation, new teacher preparation, and STEM, because STEM will become a social justice issue if we continue to fall behind. It will, because we will kind of almost be in like slavery times, right?
Wow.
Can't get a good job, we're behind, and that does not show the creativity and ingenuity of people who were building pyramids and doing math and and kind of spreading it out all over the world. So our goal is to really, while we will work with all kids, the specific objective is to get more Black and brown kids, even if they don't go into a STEM career, getting them STEM literate, creative, problem solving, critical thinking, that what people call 21st century skills.
Right.
Those are skills that as a STEM professional or a scientist that you use every single day.
Man, you hit on some good points, man. So STEM literate,
Yes.
I'm quite sure our audience knows what STEM is. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics, for those who don't know, but that's what it is. So STEM literate, so talk to us about what that looks like to become STEM literate.
STEM literate just is really just being able to utilize those skills, right? I feel like a lot of times our kids don't have success in school. And so therefore they're told not to ask questions, they're told that their thinking is wrong. And so after many, many years of being beat down in a system that was not constructed for them to have success. Yeah. See, that's the thing people don't understand is William Watkins wrote a book called The White Architects of Black Education.
Wow.
And he talks about how education was really more of indoctrination. So it really became a thing post-Reconstruction when we had all the slaves, because they wanted to, it went from missionary, which was, hey, believe in our religion, practice our religion. That's what education really was about during the cultural, indoctrinating people into a culture, Puritan culture, actually. Mm-hmm. And then when these corporations took over, and you still see it today, they now became a philanthropic education where I'm going to control the people so that you buy my product, you work for me. And entrepreneurship isn't on there, because when we go to school, we're taught to go to school, get a good job, and have the American dream.
Yeah. Wow, man. As always, drop it some good jewels and nuggets, man. So, the importance of STEM, what is the importance of STEM to three populations? To you, to the world, and to you in your journey?
It's funny. I had interviewed some people before, and the disconnect in our community, when you think about it, when you watch any movie, you're on any TV show, they don't show Black scientists or Black engineers. They usually show somebody who's an older white male, socially awkward, hair all crazy. And that's not, that's the image. Then our kids are looking at this and, that's not me.
Wow.
Right. And then you have somebody like us coming in there with some Air Maxes, and we're looking like them. And he's like, yeah, I'm a chemist. They're like, oh my God. For many of us in our generation, we didn't know Black chemists. We didn't know Black engineers. We didn't know Black computer scientists. We just had a dream, and we went into that field. And a lot of times we didn't meet our first Black chemist or our first Black engineer until we got on the campus of an HBCU.
Good points. Yeah, good points. So I think I met mine at my high school that I went to. Mm-hmm. I really loved chemistry. The help me out with the table, man.
The periodic table?
There you go. The periodic table, Omar. That's how much I loved it. I couldn't even remember the name of it. So yeah. And then when we got to college, I saw more Blacks involved in chemistry and computer science, like you were just saying. So this seems like this is your life's work, making sure that people are, getting that STEM. I love that term you use, STEM, become STEM literate.
STEM literate. For many years, and Omar, we've known each other many years. Remember, I was bringing kids. I was worried about just getting them into college. And I was like, hey, I'm bringing them by here. They're coming to Morgan. I need you to look out for them.
Absolutely.
And now it's more of, okay, we have that. We've created a pipeline getting more young people into college and pursuing. Now it's time to, hey, we need you to tap into that creativity, to that ingenuity that we know that you have, because a lot of our students they're not seeing that, right? We just have dreams. We want to make money, but I would put my kid, I would bet the house on my kid becoming a STEM professional versus them necessarily being an entertainer, because the longevity, a lot of these kids are coming out as computer scientists making $90,000 a year. Yeah. And you're guaranteed a job, because every year there's 1.2 million jobs that are not being filled. And we're only producing 300,000 engineers, computer scientists worldwide.
Wow.
And there's 1.2 million jobs annually.
Wow. Wow. Go.
If you think about it, the way our education system is set up currently, and this is the importance of the work that we're doing here. Our education system is to prepare them for a job that is here today. We need to be preparing them for a job that hasn't even been created yet.
Yeah.
Right? We need to, because before 2007, nobody knew what an iPhone was. Right? We weren't touch screening, we were flip phoning it and pressing and texting. Look at all the things we can do now with a simple mobile phone that they couldn't do with rooms full of computers back in the 70s.
Yeah. Wow. I think you introduced me maybe 10 years ago. It was a video that was out. I can't think of the name of it. It popped to me, hopefully before the end, where it talked about what you just talked about. It talked about we should be working with our young individuals to prepare them for something that's not even around right now.
Right.
Maybe it's, when you look at these TV shows, these sci-fi TV shows, instead of having your phone in your hand, you have this, I don't know what to call it, but you could just write on it in the sky, and then you can put it back in your pocket, something like that. So I need to think about that video, because it was right on point and really getting our young people involved in the STEM, because they're already involved.
They're using it. The thing is, and here's the thing, most of the things that they use, unbeknownst to them, was created by a Black person. Wow. Right? All of them run, the PS5 and all of that, but Jerry Lawson created a video game cartridge. Otherwise, they would have had to get a whole new gaming system for each game prior to him coming up with that technology.
Get that name out again?
Jerry Lawson.
Jerry Lawson. All right.
You think about Dr. James West, who invented the microphone. We wouldn't even be talking to each other, the condenser microphone, right? Yep. We wouldn't even be talking to each other right now. Right. And it's used in telephones, your iPhone, even in our computers that allow us to do this.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, it's a whole group of people that we don't even know about. Start using these devices, from your iPhone to, got my iPad here, the laptop.
Got your iPad, right? And we have been a part of it. It's just that we've been invisible, right? And every now and again, we get a bone, right? And it's not taught. So one of the things that we're doing is really going to be pushing forward the STEM stuff. Refrigerated truck was created by a Black man. our catalytic converter. So every time you go get your admissions, understand that that was a silver medal Olympian, Meredith Gourdine, who created the catalytic converter that is on our cars. The ionizer for you got asthma and you want to purify your house. A Black man, created that.
Yeah.
And it's just when you go on the internet and you just start searching this and you find this stuff out, you're like, man,
yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I can't wait.
Know that. And then because they don't want you to know it, because then you become empowered. And that's the thing. We have to make sure that our young people are able to fully participate in society. We don't want scraps. We want business owners. Think about this, but we have to be able to free their mind and allow them to think creatively and not be worried about the issues of today. Yes. Because we have Bill Gates in our community and kids who are coming up with ideas, but we've never taught them how to nurture that idea. We've never taught them that, that creativity is valued. Right. Remember, Lonnie Johnson was at work playing with the Super Soaker and they was like, yo, he playing with toys. Get him out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is the ingenuity, because we've always been without. So we always had to guess like MacGyver and do things to make it work for us. Yeah. Right. To make it easier. And that's what technology is. It's about making things easier for us, man-made, and making it easier. Looking at some of the kids in Africa creating cars from scraps and, and YouTube videos. And I just want our kids to know that, one, that so many times they're at high stakes and pressure situations that they don't ever have a safe space to really test out their creativity, because it's always a one and done for us. There's no place to really, or environment to allow that creativity and to ask questions and to really be able to find the answers to those questions. We aren't taking them through that process. And that's one of the things that we really want to do at the Applied Learning Academy. And, even training teachers to how do you work with somebody in that field, right? Because it's not something we should not be waiting until kids get to high school. They've already beat themselves down by then. Most kids have already determined what careers they can and cannot do by middle school. Yeah. And when kids are 5 and under, right? Our kids are very curious. They put things in their mouth. That's them learning, right? They're touching stuff and they know, oh, that was hot. Don't touch that again. And then they get into school and now it's like we're breaking them out of that asking questions, being creative. When kids are playing, they have the biggest, wildest imagination. Why does that need to go away?
Yeah, they become adults and it goes away.
It goes away because now this is the structure and this is what I need to follow. I want to create more entrepreneurs. I want us to own more patents. I want us to, come up with like the Elon Musk, the electric cars, and the Bill Gates and everybody else, Facebooks. And we have really been on the forefront of a lot of this stuff. We just don't get the credit for it.
Well, we're going to start getting the credit, man, because, you're on here and I interviewed some other individuals who are STEM related too. Got to get you all together. Tiffany was on here last week, so we definitely got to get you all together. So I want to take you quickly back to your HBCU. What can HBCUs do to foster entrepreneurship?
Educate and opportunity. We need to have incubation centers on campus, right? Because the biggest thing is we don't know, right? We take so long trying to figure it out because there's not an incubator that can help us vet our ideas and kind of do that lean startup. Hey, we just aren't trained in that. And also we have to start bringing angel and investors in for ideas as an HBCU. and maybe that's alumni looking to do something, because I not only have I attended HBCUs, I've also attended some Ivy League schools as well, in between the undergrad and the doctorate, and they have venture capitalist clubs where they are looking to invest in a good idea. You know, I've been an online judge for the Milk and Business Plan competition at UPenn.
Okay.
And you know, the thing is that we don't have those types of things, and we're not connecting them. So again, we are following that model of go to school to get a job. And instead of saying, you know, I listen to a lot of motivation and Dame Dash and them and being the boss, and everybody's not a boss. You just got to know what lane you fit in, right? But if you have an idea, you definitely need to know, how do you maximize your impact? How do you maximize that revenue? And a lot of things is we need to not only knowing how to do it, but sustainability and longevity, right? People, there are wealthy families that have been wealthy since slavery because they know how to keep it flywheel, you know, the fly, as Jim Collins called it, the flywheel effect, right? And it's turning over and turning over, and it's making money. A lot of times we start pushing it down the hill, and then when it's starting really to go for us, we say, oh, just cash me out. Money has no value. Power and those things do. So, you know, we're cashing out and taking the money, but your money's not working for you, right? We haven't learned all of the things, and we're not connected. So, you know, to me, HBCUs we could do better by having incubators, maybe on campuses, business plan competitions, to really, because a lot of times people do have ideas. But again, helping them vet out the ideas and understand the things like credit, you know, and structuring, how you structure it so that you protect yourself from liability. Like all of those things, we spend so much time like trying to play catch up and a lot of this stuff that we end up spending more money in the long run than we should have. Because Damon Johns talks about that, and you know, when he talked about how FUBU was and how they blew money, and you don't know, you're trying to figure it out. And that's the thing we need to do, is we need to start pulling each other up, holding the door open as entrepreneurs and saying, hey, come on in, let me teach you. And you know, it's kind of that each one teach one, not, hey, I'm gonna do it all on my own, and I'm gonna start in and I'm gonna be the man. That we do too much competition and not enough collaboration.
Absolutely. So, one last question, and that is, you started talking about it early on in the conversation, is your HBCU. So how attending an HBCU really frame your life and your business?
My network. My network at an HBCU, right? You know, we're small. Yeah. And, you know, you're small enough to know a lot of people. And when you attend homecoming, right, you might not know the person's name, but you remember their face. And you're like, man, what's up? How you doing? But there are a lot of entrepreneurs that I know of that have attended the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. And, you know, and it seemed like it was right around my era. So it's like I know a lot of them personally, and I'm, you know, and the thing is I'm not jealous because they're doing their thing. I am applauding them doing their thing, because in the long run, it's good for all of us.
That's right. Absolutely.
And I, you know, I just hope that we continue to give back, so that way that Black excellence stays there, because we need these training grounds. And, you know, that was the original mission for many of the HBCUs, is to teach and train them into the world. And what we now need to do is pivot so that we can train them for tomorrow's world, because the world as it was when they were first formed is no longer there. The industrial revolution is over. We are firmly into a technology age, and therefore we need to start being more innovative and offering and bringing in the right people to be able to help push it into the next 21st, 22nd century.
Absolutely, man. As always. So any final thoughts? Is there anything else you want people to learn about, Dr. Jaracus, Coates?
Look,
your business?
We're working hard with it. It's not just the kids. Again, we're working with training teachers. I think that is the future, because if teachers are going to be in direct contact with our kids, they have to know what they can do at that early stage. And we're just looking to make an impact. We're doing some research, continuing on making sure that there's preparation, better preparation for new teachers as they are coming into the classroom with our kids, to make sure that they are keeping them on track and not derailing them through all the ways that our young people, they're already having to navigate a lot of different issues. Coming to school and having a teacher that cares and understands how to help them is one of the things that we really need to strive to do better. Plus, making sure that we have programs like the Applied Learning Academy in our neighborhoods and available to our kids, because if they have to go cross town or whatever, they're not going to do it. We need to make sure that the STEM literacy and engagement is just the same as parents putting them and running them across the country for AAU and football camps and everything else. Put them in a STEM camp. Open their mind and their creativity. I promise you that will be money well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Doc. How can people learn more about you? Once again, Instagram, Facebook,
and I'm on LinkedIn. Dr. Jaracus Coates. Follow me on LinkedIn, and we have things coming up.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Give it out again.
We are on I'm on LinkedIn, Dr. Jaracus Coates, and follow me. We also the Facebook page, Instagram, and our website is under construction, but it will be up soon at theappliedlearningacademy.com.
All right. That's Dr. Jaracus Coates. Hey, brother, thank you for coming on board of the HBCU Daily Grind, man. And don't forget, everybody, tune into past episodes. Just head on over to HBCU by Association. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them, y'all. Just go over there. And if you know somebody that needs to be on this show, send me an email at info@HBCU by Association, and we'll get them on the show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back on next Monday. And until then, continue to improve and progress. Peace.